Good afternoon, everyone. So I am Kristan Kuyuga from BE Ed 2B, and I will discuss the Chapter 3 Science, Technology, and Nation Building, which is Post-Colonial Period. So Post-Colonial Period, in 1965, after achieving independence from the colonizers, the Philippines, under different administrations, continued to pursue programs in science and technology. Each leadership had its own science and technology agenda. However, it is important to note then some Philippine presidents posted more developments in the field than others. So, after independence, Philippine leaders continued to develop science and technology, but the progress depended on how the presidents was. So, next is contributions of the different Philippines presidents in the development of science and technology. So we will discuss these 7 presidents, Philippine presidents. So we will start with the term of Ferdinand Marcos. So ano ba yung naiambag ni Marcos? So ito na yung period na nakamit na natin yung Philippine independence, kaya tinawag siya na post-colonial period. So dito na nagkaroon tayo ng Philippine presidents. During the time of Marcos, the role of science and technology in national development was emphasized. So, leaders believed that progress could be achieved through science and technology. He mandated the DEX, now DepEd, to promote science courses in public high schools. The government, through DEX, now DepEd, required public high schools to teach science subjects more seriously. He proclaimed the 35-hectare lot in Bikutan, Taguig, as the Philippine Science Community, now the site of DOS. So a 35-hectare land in Bikutan, Taguig, was declared as a science hub. Today, it is where the DOS, Department of Science and Technology, is located. And he assigned the Philippine Coconut Research Institute to promote the modernization of the coconut industry. And this was created to help improve and modernize the coconut industry, important since the Philippines is a big producer of coconuts. And several agencies and organizations were established like NFA, Pag-asa, and NAST. So examples, NFA for food security, and Pag-asa for weather and climate, and NAST for National Academy of Science and Technology. National Academy of Science and Technology to be the reservoir of scientific and technological expertise in the country. Philippine Science High School, Mindanao, and Visayas campuses were established. So, campuses of the Philippine Science High School were established in Mindanao and Visayas. So, after independence, the Philippines focused on using science and technology to build the nation by improving schools, industries, research, and government agencies. The next president of Ferdinand Marcos was Corazon C. Aquino, and what happened in the field of science and technology during her time, 1986 to 1992. So, in 1986, National Academy of Science and Technology was renamed DOS, Department of Science and Technology. So, in 1986, National Academy of Science and Technology was changed to DOS, which is Department of Science and Technology. And second is this was done in order for the science and technology sector to be represented in the cabinet and thus play an integral role in the country's sustainable economic recovery and growth. So that the science and technology sector could be part of the government cabinet. So this way, science and technology could help the country's economic recovery and growth. The third is the Science and Technology Master Plan penned by the OS aimed to update the production sector, improve research activities, and develop infrastructures, science and technology sector. So, DOS created a Science and Technology Master Plan. The goals were to make the production sector better, improve research, and build better infrastructure for science and technology. So during Aquino's time, science and technology became an important part of the government, with plans to improve the economy, research, and infrastructure. The NSTA was reorganized into Department of Science and Technology and assigned cabinet level that includes the following: First is the Philippine Atmospheric and Geophysical and Astronomical Services Administration, which is PAGASA. So usa ni siya sa branches sa DOS. Sila yung nag-aaral kung kanang mo ni ang mag-update sa ato if kanang naipadulong bagyo. And then the next is Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, which is PhilVox. So mao ni sila ang nag-monitor if naay earthquake, volcanic activities. So sila ang mag-provide sa ato og ni-agree pod ang DOS. And the third is the Philippine Science High School Systems, which is PSHS. So ari sa PSHS is daghan og kanang campuses around the Philippines. The fourth is Science and Technology Information Institute, which is STII. So mao po ni siya ang mangunguna when it comes information technology in our country. And the fifth is Science Education Institute, which is SEI. So diri ang mga scholars, some of you are I know the DOS scholar. So diri na belong ang mga scholar. So the sixth is Technology Application and Promotion Institute, which is TAPI. And the lastly is Technology Resource Center, which is TRC. So kaning duha is related ilahang rules in terms of technology production. So these are different cabinet level of DOS after Corazon Aquino. The next president is Fidel Valdez Ramos. So mo ni yung mga naambag. So makikita nyo na na-establish ni Marcos yung National Academy of Science Technology and renamed ni Corazon Aquino into DOS para mabutgan siya sa cabinet level, mabutgan og budget ang mga branches. So let's see what was the contribution of former President Fidel Ramos in terms of science and technology. So Fidel, during his presidency, the Philippines had approximately 3,000 competent scientists and engineers. So diri nakaproduce siya og 3,000 competent scientists and engineers. So that means he shortened the program policies in terms of science and technology, and so he is also known as a Doctors to the Barrier program, made healthcare accessible even in far-flung areas. Dala sa layo nga lugar na dili sila maka-access og healthcare and services, so gitawag sila og Doctors to the Barrio. And the next is National Program for Gifted Filipino Children in Science and Technology was created for high school students who wanted to major in science and engineering in college. So naay programa si Fidel Ramos about sa mga students na mathematically and scientifically inclined. So this program is para ni sa ila to prepare in science and engineering major and during their college. And so maghatag sila incentives, maghatag og scholarship para sa mga gifted Filipino children, and also laws and statutes related to science and technology sector were mandated, such as RA 7687, which is Science and Technology Scholarship Act of 1999. So diri mao ni ang law nga nagmandate na dapat mag-provide og mga scholarship and sa mga students to na magkuha og course related to science and technology. And the next is RA 7459, Inventors and Inventions Incentives Act. So this law is mao ni siya ang maghatag og incentives if naa kay ma-discover or invent into different that will help our community and country. So that's the time will give you incentives according to this law mandated. So by this law na pinasa ni Fidel Ramos during his presidency. And the third law is RA 8293, the Intellectual Property Code of the Philippines. So this law is nag-ingon nga kung ikaw ay may ma-discover or ikaw ang nagbuhat to protect kay originally na kailangan nimo ipa-register para ikaw ang makredit when it comes to rights ug ikaw og maila ka nga ikaw ang tag-iya. And the next president is Joseph M. Ejercito Estrada. So let's see what was the contribution of former President Joseph Estrada. So this is the contribution during his time na ipasa ang RA 8749, the Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999, and RA 8792, Electronic Commerce Act of 2000 were both signed and mandated during his term. So ang RA 8749 is kaning Philippine Clean Air Act mao ni ang nagsugo sa LTO na dapat ang sakyanan moagi usa sa emission test kay if dili siya makapasar sa emission test dili siya dili register or register ang iyang sakyanan. That is according to Philippine Clean Air Act of 1999. And the RA 8792 Electronic Commerce Act of 2000 were both signed and mandated during his term. So Electronic Commerce Act of 2000 ay related sa electronic commerce. So mao ni siya ang nag-govern na law sa kaning duha ka law. This were both signed and mandated during the term of Joseph Estrada. And also, he was also responsible for implementing cost-effective irrigation technologies and providing basic healthcare services for those who could not afford. So, si President Estrada siya ang nagpa-implement ng mga cost-effective irrigation. So, na-modernize ang irrigation system sa Philippines. So, nagkaroon ng makabagong technologies when it comes to irrigation kay maupod ni ang usa sa gikuha natong produkto sa bugas, rice, o sa usa ta sa nagpo-produce og rice products. So, during his time, gi-implement niya ang cost-effective irrigation technologies and providing basic healthcare services. So, the next president is Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. So, let's see unsa iyang mga na-contribute. So, mao ni ang iya. So, during her term, science and technology sector were developed to strengthen the education system and to address poverty. So science and technology programs were improved to help schools and to fight poverty. So next is Philippinnovation was coined to refer the Philippines as an innovation hub in Asia. So the term of Philippinnovation was introduced, meaning the Philippines wants to be known as an innovation hub in Asia. And next, she promulgated RA 9367 Biofuel Act to utilize indigenous materials as a source of energy. So RA 9367 Biofuel Act was created. So this law used local or indigenous materials as sources of energy. And next is farmers were encouraged to use rice that can withstand environmental hazards. So farmers were supported to use stronger rice varieties that can survive harsh weather. And next is RA 10601, Agriculture and Fisheries Mechanizations Law was also passed to modernize agricultural, fisheries, machinery, and equipment. So, RA 10601, Agriculture and Fisheries Mechanization Law, was passed. So, this modernized farming and fishing by providing better machines and equipment. So, during her time, efforts in science, technology, agriculture, and energy were pushed to improve education, reduce poverty, and make the Philippines more innovative. So, the next president is Benigno Simeon C. Aquino III. During his term, he named new national scientists. So, ito yung mga pinangalanan niya. Si Gabino C. Trono, Marine Biology. He is a marine biologist, studies ocean life. So, mao ni si Gabino C. Trono. And the next is Angel C. Alcala, Biological Science. Siya ang nakaimbento ng artificial coral waves in terms of biological science. So, studies living things. So, mao ni si Angel C. Alcala. And the third is Ramon C. Barba, is horticulture and studies plant growing. So, mao ni si Ramon C. Barba. And the last is Edgardo D. Gomez, Marine Biology. So, ocean life, ihang gikuanan. So, in terms of marine biology field, So during the term of President Aquino, so sila ang mga na-proclaimed as a national scientist in these different fields. Also during the time of President Aquino. So second is nationwide operational assessment of hazards was established in 2012 by the DOS, a more integrated and responsive system to deal with disaster. So simulation siya, meron siyang simulation project NOAA. So sa computer makita nimo kung asa nga lugar ang unang mobaha, ug asa nga lugar nga daghan og hazards sa sobrang ulan. Imo na siya i-search ang NOAA's project. So NOAA's project because there was established by the time of President Aquino. He is also initiated Keto 12 curriculum which is ang STEM. So, katong nagkaroon ng Keto 12, nagkaroon tayo ng senior high school plus 2 years at doon yung na-strengthen yung STEM, di ba? Nag-senior high school man. So, yung mga scientifically, mathematically inclined, you were pushed to enroll in the STEM strand para i-prepare tayo sa college na related sa science, mathematics, and engineering yung courses, especially those all of you who are engineering major to push now my STEM strand K-12 curriculum during of time of Aquino. So next, Philbooks has also come up with the Valley Fall System Atlas, also VFSA, a comprehensive college detailed large-scale maps that can help people identify if their homes are near the VFS. So, Valley Fault System Atlas is a pillbox. The earthquake agency made detailed maps showing where the West Valley Fault passes. This helps people know if their houses are near a dangerous fault line. So, this period focused on honoring Filipino scientists, improving disaster readiness, upgrading education, and preparing for earthquakes. And the last president is Rodrigo Roa Duterte. During his term, science and technology sector is seen to be a priority based on the budget for research and development, so R&D, that grew by nearly 6 times over the same period from 5 billion in 2010 to 20.8 billion in 2017. So the government showed this by increasing the money spent on research and development, which is the R&D. So in 2010, the budget was 5 billion, and by 2017 it grew to 20.8 billion, almost 6 times bigger. So the government invested much more money in science and research because they saw it as important for the country's progress. So this is about the post-colonial period in the Philippines after the country gained independence. Formulation of programs and policies that will aid in shaping the country. So, the government made programs and policies to help develop the country. And next is the focus of DOS is to put the results of R&D into commercialization in order to gain new intellectual properties. So, the DOS, or Department of Science and Technology, works to use research results for business and inventions. So next is Philippine Space Technology Program, which launched Diwata 2 in 2018 after the launch of Diwata 1 in 2016 that displayed the Philippine flag in space. So the Philippine Space Technology Program launched small satellites, Diwata 1 in 2016 and Diwata 2 in 2018, showing that the Philippines can also join space technology. And next is gives importance to agriculture and disaster preparedness. So there was also focus on helping farmers, agriculture, and being ready for disasters like typhoons and earthquakes. So after independence, the Philippines focused in science, technology, space farming, and disaster readiness to help build the nation. So, after Duterte, so makikita nyo na yung bawat presidente ay meron naman talagang naiambag in terms of science and technology. And so meron silang dinevelop para sa ikakanda ng ating bansa in terms of science and technology. So we're done with the history and development of science and technology in the Philippines. So, now, tingnan naman natin yung role of science and technology in Philippine nation building. So, ano ba yung rules ng science and technology? Bakit napatupad ng mga ganong batas yung mga president or presidente, mga nakaraang presidente? Ano ba yung ginampan ng rule ng science and technology and Philippine nation building? So, the 1987 Philippine Constitution, Section 10, Article 14, science and technology are essential for nation development and progress. So, before pa man talaga in this, the Philippine Constitution, nakasaad na po ang importance ng science and technology. And the state shall give priority to research and development, inventions, innovation, and their utilization in the science and technology education, training, and service period. So, um, nakasaad sa ating Philippine Constitution na priority talaga ang science and technology. So, it shall support indigenous, appropriate, and self-reliant scientific and technological capabilities and their applications. So, di ba kitang-kita nyo dito na the sector of science and technology is binibigyang importance or importansya when it comes to its relevant in nation development. So first of all, science and technologies discovers inventions and innovations brought about the growth of industries and enterprises that eventually lead to the rise of the cities. So because of new inventions and discoveries, businesses and factories grow, which help cities to rise and develop. So the next is outputs in the study of science and technology include more new, improved, and rapidly produced products to meet the demands of the people. So science and technology allow us to make more products that are new, improved, and faster to produce, meeting people's needs. And the third is science discoveries and technology innovations have made life easier. So, computers and the communication tools advanced, making information sharing and connections easier. And the fourth is discovery, development, and promotion of various kind of medicines. So, discoveries and innovations in medicines improve healthcare and promoted better health for people. And lastly is discoveries and lastly science discoveries and technology innovations have made life easier. So overall, science and technology made daily life more convenient and efficient. So, science and technology help the Philippines grow by improving industries, cities, communication, healthcare, and healthcare products, and the way people live. And the last topic is examples in how science and technology help in nation building. Science and technology and nation building. So first is development of agricultural systems. First is mechanization of farming. So mechanization of farming is a machine or make farming easier and faster. So and use of water pump and sprinkler in managing the effect of extreme heat. So diri is water pumps and sprinkler helps during very hot weather. And the next is production of genetically modified crops resistant to pest and grow faster. So there is scientists create crops that resist pests and grow faster. Use of fertilizer to produce high quality yields, and so there is fertilizer help farmers grow more and better quality food. Second is improvement of transportation utilizing e-jeepneys. So utilizing e-jeepneys e-jeepneys are used to save fuel and reduce pollution. And LRTs and MRTs is trains make travel faster in cities, and building more airports. And so more airports connect different places in the country and abroad. So motorized boats for fishing. So motorized boats help fishermen catch more fish. So next is improvement of educational system. So online learning due to pandemic. So because of the pandemic, students could continue learning online and use of laptops, cell phone, and tablet for learning. So laptops, cell phones, and tablets are used for studying. So utilizing LMS like Google Classroom. So apps like Google Classroom help manage lessons and assignments. And the last is use of video conferencing. So video calls make virtual classes possible. And science and technology made learning possible even when schools were closed. And the last examples of and the last examples is improvement of communication. So uh, information is transmitted easily and rapidly and are readily available. So information can now shared quickly and easily, and then can easily communicate with others through social media platforms. So social media allows people to connect and talk anytime or anywhere. So science and technology make it easier to share ideas and stay connected. So, science and technology improved learning through online education and made communication faster and easier, helping people stay informed and connected. And that's all for my discussion.